Good evening. I'm meteorologist Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. This is your Fleet Response Working Group Sensitive Information Sharing Environment update for 9 o'clock on Wednesday, September 18th or August 18th, 2021. We have still active tropics going on. You can see in the GOES satellite image, I'm going to point out a few things going on right here. Here is Hurricane now, Hurricane Grace. You can see my cursor here. I'm circling the hurricane. It's a Category 1 hurricane. It is moving to the west and will be impacting the Yucatan Peninsula and Cancun overnight tonight into tomorrow. It is expected to weaken. I'll show you that forecast track momentarily. Way over here on the limb of the world here is Hurricane Linda. Hurricane Linda is a Category 2 hurricane. It was a Category 5 hurricane several days ago, is headed just to the north of the Hawaiian Islands, but will dissipate into a tropical depression before it gets out there. That is Hurricane Linda. And just a little bit to the north, we have tropical depression, the remnants of tropical depression, Fred, going through now southern parts of New York, northern Pennsylvania, which caused quite a bit of activity all along its path in the East Coast, from tornado activity in Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina to severe thunderstorms and flood warnings up through Virginia, West Virginia, parts of Pennsylvania into New York. Now you might see this one also spinning around in the Atlantic. This one, we're going to go a little bit closer, is Tropical Storm Henri, soon to be Hurricane Henri. You can see it out here with its spin. I'm going to play this as a sequence of satellite images here, and you can see Henri moving very slowly as the sun goes down. We see the shadow come across. It's called the Terminator, and now we see infrared satellite images. But look at Henri. This is the coast of North Carolina here and the coast of South Carolina. This storm is beginning to kick up waves that are going to cause rip currents along the East Coast. It's not really that far from the East Coast, not impacting our weather per se, but indirectly impacting swimming at the beaches. So be very careful. Lifeguards might have those red flags up. You might look out and say, well, it's a beautiful day, but there are rip currents being generated by this storm out in the Atlantic. So what I want to do now is go over to GeoCollaborate and show you what it looks like from the standpoint of a little wider view, because I want to show you this incredible tropical activity going on right now. The white dots that you see are earthquakes. They're earthquakes that have happened over the last week or so, or the last 4 days, I should say. There's that big one, the 7.2 in Haiti. But take a look at these hurricane tracks. I'm going to move the map just a little bit so you can see Linda, that formed all the way here off the Central American coast, became a Category 5 hurricane, is now a Category 2. And look at this. This is the island of Hawaii. Yes, they have earthquakes. That's why you can see it from this distance here, because of the earthquakes. And Linda is expected to weaken to a Category 1 and then a tropical depression when it moves to the north of the islands. However, it is going to kick up some big waves along the North Shore, so the surfers are going to be happy about that. Certainly not an area for swimming. I think the red flag warnings are going to be up on the beaches there for strong rip currents from Linda. Now let's move back a little bit closer to us here in the United States, and we'll take a look at Grace. This is Hurricane Grace now, Category 1. You can see the wind field here. I'm circling with my cursor. There's hurricane warnings up for Cancun, Isla Mujeres, and other places south of Cancun, including Tulum, that are going to experience hurricane force winds, 75 to 80 mile per hour winds during the night tonight into tomorrow morning. And then the storm is expected to turn to the southwest and hit, fortunately, a more less populated area of the Gulf Coast of Mexico. And look at this. The storm could even move out into the Pacific Ocean, where it will get another name if it survives and forms into a tropical system once again. But now I want to turn to this storm along the East Coast here. And I say along the East Coast because progressively the forecast has been shifting to the west. Henri is drifting or moving to the west and will continue to do that for the next day and a half to 2 days before it starts to curve to the north. Exactly where that curve happens, we're not quite sure, but the official forecast from the Hurricane Center has it happening right in this area around Friday. When it does that, it's going to be on a parallel course to the United States. However, in the longer range forecast, it has the storm turning more towards the west. That would be an impact for New England, for Cape Cod, Massachusetts, perhaps New Jersey or New York or Connecticut or Maine. So we have to watch this very closely because we know when tropical systems impact the East Coast, if they do it on this kind of an angle, it could be very impactful. So we want to keep a close eye on Henri, even though it's forecast to be a Category 1 hurricane. Winds are forecast to reach 90 miles per hour when it's off the coast of Maryland and New Jersey and Delaware before it starts to weaken. So we're going to be watching it for you. We'll keep doing video updates. And this is, again, a fairly unusual, not unprecedented track for sure. But whenever we see the hurricane path start to turn to the west, when a storm is moving up the East Coast, that's cause for concern. So we're going to keep you updated. I'll do another video update during the day tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Dave Jones. You can see the crawl below me talking about the impacts of Henri and also the rip tides or the rip currents that are going to be generated along the East Coast. Rip tide is an old term. That's not what we call them anymore. And then on the East Coast up towards the northern part of Maine, I want you to keep your eyes open for this storm because it could turn towards the west and impact New England. So I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and the Sensitive Information Sharing Environment. This is your update around 9 o'clock on Wednesday. Next update will be during the day tomorrow. We'll post it, and if you subscribe on the YouTube channel, you will get an alert as soon as these updates are published. Have a good night.